backline of Orianna and Varus.
Yeah, I do like the Nautilus in this sort of situation. Okay, they're going to swap to the Karma instead. I wasn't sure if they wanted to go for an Enchanter in either the Lulu or the Karma to try and get that wave push, counteract what has been that speciality of Gumayusi on this Varus. And it looks like that's the call. Just go for a lane dominance in this bottom side. Make sure Jackie Love and Hung can fight toe-to-toe against the T1 bot lane and try and snowball into effective dragon.
The entrance does not hit Kanavi. Owner still continuing to try to contest here for this Raptor camp. Does secure the large Raptor, but now over the wall. It's Cream ready to go in. He wants the kill, and Owner's the focus. Cream goes forward, but he cannot find enough damage just yet. It's Kanavi grabbing first blood here for Top Esports.
Massive plays from Top Esports. The double flash.
Mordekaiser is steadfastly down there in the bottom lane, and Top Esports have already taken the first grub.
But now, Top Esports, they can have 369 TP to bottom lane if they want. He's going to go back to base. They did sacrifice a wave, and Doran will secure a plate. But ultimately now, Jackie Love and Hung can go and match up against the bot lane 2 versus 2. Akali can return now.
Yeah, you can see piercing arrow, plenty of damage from that Varus here onto the neutral objective. It is secured by Owner and T1 as Hong wants to step forward. Neutral objectives in the game go utterly uncontested. The Void Grubs earned by Top Esports because of their smart macro play, then T1 getting the Drake for free off the recall.
Navi does not have his ultimate up and available. It is still a little bit away, which is why Top Esports gonna have to try and break into this, but it looks like it's gone.
Yeah, T1 just going to go ahead and secure themselves Soul Point on a Cloud Soul Rift. Another uncontested neutral objective.
I mean, immaculate control coming through from T1. Top Esports on the other side might be able to secure first tower for themselves, as 369 will be left alone to hit away on this tower. So hey, a feat of warfare contributed. Now the question is, gentlemen, will it
force Top Esports back? Gumayusi on this Varus has been such a staple for T1, and now en masse they group mid, and 369's overextended.
Yeah, 369 summoner spell, but that's all they're going to take for now. Kanavi's the only one continuing to tank the Otacon because they do not want the debuff on everybody else on Top Esports. Doran making his way up through the river. 369 with a third in Tofo strike primed. Top Esports looking for something here. It's Doran jumped on immediately. However, he's into the death realm. He's going after Kanavi. He wants to take out the enemy jungler. Top Esports, they're trying to get him away. But as soon as the death realm ends, Carrier's quickness begins. And Top Esports have already lost their jungler. They're about to lose their top laner. 369 wants to go all out, but Gumayusi and T1 are all in. Hong trying to escape as Cream's got some fancy acrobatics, but he's not getting anything. T1 out team fight him, and they'll take the Otacon.
Kanavi is given no position, no purchase, as Doran isolates him in the death realm. And after taking out the jungler, taking out 369, T1 will turn their attention towards the Baron.
Bettius, you talked about the value of one fight, and this is the fight they want.
And it's because Doran just rips Kanavi out of existence that makes it so easy. That engage is gone. Jackie Love and Hong.
You just sit on top of the little Christmas light and press R as soon as it returns to a champion. Well played there from T1, now over 2,000 gold ahead. And my friends, we have 45 seconds left until the Cloud Soul spawns. Hong in some danger here, has to flash away. Carrier ready to go after him again with a quickness, feat of warfare. Finally claimed at 27 minutes by T1, and they are just barreling down the bottom lane. Gumayusi gonna get healed up by Redemption, but no! Cream's already got the assassination. He dies in response as Kanavi continues spinning forward, looking for a little bit more. The ricochets from Jackie Love. He needs more, but he can't find it. A double kill to Faker as Owner finishes Jackie, and only 369 is left. T1 again win the fight with 10 seconds left until the Cloud Soul spawns.
Top Esports threw the Hail Mary, and it was so close to looking good, but intercepted at the last second. And now it's T1 with members on the map that will secure the Cloud Soul, although there's a little bit of a spot here.
Yeah, looks like Hong might have made a mistake, stepping forward to try to help his top laner. Doran brings Hong into the Death Realm instead. He will not be able to catch back up to the Karma to guarantee the kill, but now it's Faker joining up with his top laner for the extra damage into 369. The Kasante tries to get away, and he outpaces the Claw to do so, but the entire time it was Owner.
It got a little scary for T1 on the bot side of the map. It felt like that Jackie Love had really woken up in this game, but Kanavi once again isolated. Shockwave!
Shockwave from Faker to burst down the enemy jungler. Kanavi has never found his angles in this game after that first blood. Cream of the Wall wants something. They'll give him a burial. Gumayushi with the kill. 9-3 for T1. Everything Top Esports tried early was completely canceled, and T1 is showing them how to make plays now. 369 just trying to escape some of the damage. He's the only one alive for a game that had one kill at 24 minutes. T1 are about to end it. 30 minutes in. Respawns are not even here. 369's the only one left, and they want to try to grab the ace on the way out. T1, it was a slow burn, but it's Top Esports being put to the fire. T1 just going to pad the stats and take game one.
It's a takeover and the bailout to keep someone safe. But on the upside, Gumayushi going to fall back towards the Kaza here. It works so well with the rest of the composition. And even the fact that you have the Nico helps to enable you a certain extent in that bottom side of the map and keep you safe because of the Nico poke. But you are up against Corki Nami, which is
a level 6. Cataclysm at the ready. Gumayushi and Keria are both injured, however. We'll see if they want to keep looking for a little bit more, because Faker is also here with a hero's entrance. The Jarvan Galio Wombo combo could be exactly what T1 wants. There are no teleports ready on the Top Esports side to try to reinforce this. Hong's going to be in some danger. Hero's entrance, his first blood over to Faker, and it's 2-0 T1.
Clean execution from T1 as they shut down the bottom lane. No room for escape whatsoever. Kanavi's forced to just hit the target that's in front of them, but there will be many targets in front of them, and they will be coming from every which way, especially with a Camille and a Kaza at their back looking to navigate their way through whatever angle they have available to them.
Well, the angle for Top Esports right now is neutral objectives. They did get the first Drake after the play made from T1 earlier there underneath that tier 1 turret top side.
In the latter half of the World Championship, it's so easy for him to walk into a lane, throw that ultimate down as Jackie Love looks for a fight against Faker.
I love that from Jackie. He goes in for the Valkyrie to block the Justice Punch from Faker. Now Faker's trying to get away here on the Galio, shielded Duran for a little bit of extra durability, but no! Jackie Love gets his shot.
Faker wasn't ready, but here we go!
369, public execution wants the attempt onto Doran, who uses the Hextech ultimatum defensively back against him. Keria comes in for the Pop Blossom, but he only finds Kanavi. Now Owner's showing up, but Cream reinforces here for the Realm Warp. Gumayushi ready to back up his team. Both means a massive point of power there for the Corki, but it doesn't look like he's arriving to Drake here in time just yet. Keria wants to get away. Nice use of the pillar there, takes Keria low, and now Owner has to flash out. Flash bubble attempt, not gonna get anything back there from Hong. He misses that as Gumayushi now has to flash away too. It's a ton of damage coming in as Keria is already dead. Jackie Love killed in response. It's Fetal Warfare claimed by T1, but Doran's got to try to continue getting away. 369 looking for an angle, possibly. He goes to the public execution. 369! Damn, that's fine. He finds Gumayushi.
369 finds another kill, equalizes the kill score as T1 walks away with the Draggers.
Sometimes Jackie Love flashing in can be a little spooky, but that was exactly what they needed there. But now 369, flashless, no ultimates, keeping this wave out from the tower.
Yeah, he wants to stop the minions from arriving, but Keria's got the Pop Blossom, and it's a dog pile top lane. Vengeance for Gumayushi.
The consequence of all of this, though, is that Doran has been left isolated in the top lane. He will secure the first tower, and it looks to be the feats of strength as well for T1.
There it is, yep, exactly right before the tier 1 turret could have faced its own potential doom on the T1 side. I'm always impressed when a team that loses all 3 Void Grubs still manages to secure the first turret of the game for themselves. This is a 14-minute feats of strength versus the 28 minutes from last game as Owner goes in for the Cataclysm onto Jackie Love. Doran now ready with a Hex Tech ultimatum, and here's the hero's entrance. Jackie Love first to die as Doran's got to try to find his way back out. Owner jumps in with the EQ combo, but Kanavi's ready to take a bite out of him. The Troll King leads the charge as Doran gets a nice Hex Tech sweep for a little bit more HP. T1's not done yet as Kaza still looking maybe for a root here, but T1 are just going to take their kill, disengage, as now it is the turret dying in the top side on the T1 side, thanks to 369. Faker with the Justice
back, but there's little available for them. We have to go back to live because the Herald is going to be secured, and the pace of this game is very different from game one.
Yeah, I think T1 actually sticking around there, getting that's going to fall.
Here we go, Rift Herald sum it up. It's Jackie Love ready to drive it straight into the tier 1 turret. Honestly, they don't even really need it, but it will still lose most of the HP. Shouldn't be this time, but a TP is coming in from T1. Top Esports committing to the objective. Gumayushi's on the flank, but he's got to be a little bit careful. 369 wants to mark him. Kaza goes in with a bad pop blossom, but Jackie Love is already down. Top Esports have lost their marksman. Doran, he's the only one low, but it won't matter. Realm Warp, it gets Top Esports away to safety.
To really get value from them now, Top Esports looking to overload the bot lane to make something happen for them.
Oh yeah, there's no way for T1 to try to defend this one. 3 grubs and 4 players from top is more than enough to knock down the last 25% of that tower's health. So that means our gold is once again back to dead even. 20 minutes on the clock, and Otacon makes his way onto the Rift with Top Esports having control over the bot side river.
And Faker's going to go back to base. He has the TP available. Top Esports going to force the issue. Owner has a flank angle from behind. 369 trying to mark him.
Yeah, Owner is wrapped all the way around on top of a control ward, so he knows he's not seen here. Still trying to be careful about this as Kaza and Doran also approaching towards this Otacon that is starting to lose some patience, down to about 2/3 HP. Cream back over in the mid lane. Top Esports backing away. Remember, they still have their tier 1 turret down here in the bottom lane, and it still has a lot of health.
Top Esports knows something is up. They cannot find Owner, and they know that's an issue, but it's misses on the ult.
They wanted the public execution. They can't get Gumayushi. 3-man pop blossom from Kaza, and Jackie Love's dead again. This time, his friends might just go with him. Gumayushi needs a little bit more as Kanavi chases forward onto Doran. The Trundle needs the kill, but he dies to the Cataclysm. Cream locked up by Faker. It's a Justice punch to the jaw, and Gumayushi knocks him out. Triple kill for the Kaza as Hong's a fish out of water, and T1 get an 8.
The play, the ulti connects onto 3, but their target is Jackie Love. He trades his life to take out the AD carry, and then it's cleanup for T1.
It does not feel like LPL.
Poured off the side of the graph.
Doran has found Cream.
Wants to go after this Rise. TP coming in from the side of Top Esports. T1 ready to respond with one of their own. Doran down to half HP. Owner wants a little bit more. The teleport is a little bit late to arrive from Faker, but it's still just in time. T1 send.
It was a 2 versus 1 that turned into a 4 versus 2 as Faker's Onyas.
Faker walks right towards the brush, but he's got the reaction time. Top Esports wanted to find their moment. Kaza is wrapping around from the side. He wants to cut off the escape. Pop Blossom on 2. Doran chasing after Hong as Jackie Love is dead again. And Doran cuts the enemy support down. Only
Kanavi, because they attack the side lane, they get caught. They attack the jungle, they get caught.
You mention anyone's legend, Dagda, because Vedius, you mentioned back at the draft when we saw the Kaza locked in. Never mind, we don't have time. Jackie Love going after Gumayushi, who sidesteps the public execution and kills Jackie anyway. 369 wants the damage, and Guma's finally going to be shut down. But Top Esports lose their top laner. Now Owner's putting the pressure onto Cream and Hong, making more space as Faker lets blow the winds of war, and they will blow down Top Esports. Nobody's left alive. They might have got Gumayushi, but it cost.
To dish out as much damage as possible to help T1 win the fight.
Yeah, the question marks on Gumayushi's Kaza.
He's 3 levels behind Gumayushi, still does not hesitate to press W towards T1. He knows that they will not turn this game around idly by.
Owner over the wall, immediately goes into the Cataclysm. Jackie Love under pressure as Gumayushi pops the Seeker, staying alive for now, needs a little bit more damage. Kaza swoops in behind him. Gumayushi's still alive. Top Esports is not. It's T1 with a full send.
T1 crashes down on Top Esports, and it will be the base that will be next to fall.
Game number 2 will end even more quickly than game number 1. They average nearly 1 kill per minute in this second matchup as 369 will get one back at the very, very end, but he dies on the steps to his own base. T1, match point.
Considering rather than going for some follow-up on the engage, disengage in the Renata.
I think they have enough engage already with the Ashe and the Scion, even the Pantheon as well. So T1 trying to set up to be an absolute nuisance as top Esports.
So far in this series has been spectacular.
Doran now could be the target, knocked up into the air by 369. Kanavi, he has the river to try to lock him down. Decimating smash won't matter. It's first blood to Kanavi and top Esports. But Cream doesn't really have the mana to try to punish him. Faker needs to flash away there as Cream goes between worlds, hits level 6, wants to immediately drop that ulti to get the flash out of Faker. Now up in the top side, Ornhorn coming in. Doran's gonna get dove, he tries to pop the shield. He'll die, but 369 will fall too. It's a 1-for-1 here at the top.
The first objective of the game, and T1 is looking to secure it.
Yeah, just the trade with top Esports being in a better position on the top side of the map. T1 happy to look for this, and they should be able to continue what has been basically the dragon stacking for them all series long, and enabling the ability to try and play for these team fights later as the game goes on. He can be in positions where top Esports are trying to make plays, but he's going to look for the reset, and the wave is starting to push out. 369. A little bit of trouble on the bot side.
Yeah, Gumayushi making sure he takes this trade as long as he can take it, since there's nothing 369 can do in retaliation. Cream wants Faker. Kanavi goes in. Kanavi takes a lot of damage from the turret, but he gets his man. Now Owner tries to get the follow-up kill, and he flashes for the point-blank Q, so that Kanavi cannot escape this series alive for top Esports, who are now again looking for a dive, this time onto Gumayushi. Hong wants to try to get away from the turret, but it's a 1-for-1. Guma does enough damage to make it an even trade.
But top
Area
Esports
first, but Orn's about to arrive into the mid lane. T1 get engaged on. Hong's ready to go in, but the hostile takeover over the top tries to keep him alive. Keria staying up here for a little bit longer. Keria and Faker are both very low. Faker survives. Jackie Love under pressure. Gumayushi wins the AD carry battle, and top Esports have already lost 3 men. It's about to be 4. Keria may have died, Faker may have died, but top Esports are going to lose everyone. Owner and Doran bury the last one. It's an ace.
Absolutely everything, but once that Renata came down, they lost everything.
We're not done though. It's a pick coming in for top Esports. They find Keria in the enemy jungler. They catch T1 unaware. Now Faker with a rebuttal. Hong still manages to close the distance here with the dread line, but Owner's ready to show up and offer a little bit of assistance. Cream in some danger now. There's the execution. There's the damage. There's T1. Owner and Faker get one back as top Esports are still on the retreat. Hong now stunned up by the Pantheon. A little bit more damage from a point-blank Comet Spear, and Owner's unstoppable. Top Esports take the Herald in the meantime and try to start the blue buff. Kanavi finds him there as now Doran coming in. Big collision on Jackie Love, and Gumayushi picks up the free payday.
No flash on the Draven means that T1 can simply run him down.
Oh no, Kanavi! What was that? He jumps into the middle of everybody, and the Comet Spear to execute him. The pressure of elimination in the semifinals is crushing Kanavi as Owner tanks up 369 for the time being. Hong with the pressure onto Guma. Cream goes between worlds, tries to jump in. Gumayushi about to die. The bailout will not save him. Top Esports, they need more now. Cream wants to get out, but the Solar Snare locks him up. Faker gets the return kill as Faker and Keria duel with Hong and 369. A triple to the Ornn as that will be the execution through the golden
To help get a few kills back for T1, but we return to the Rift as they push on the top side.
Kanavi goes in, but his ultimate doesn't get a lot. Owner with the shield ready to continue the counterattack as Hong will be first to die. Faker takes the kill, and 369's their next target. Solar Snare won't hit him. Ornhorn maybe for the counterattack. 4-man knockup from 369, but it is not enough. T1 still over 2,000 gold as the axe is spinning, ready to step up, try to clear the vision. Cream pincering around, looking to try to cut off T1, coming behind him. Top Esports backing away now on the main front. Cream shows himself, ready to try to enter into the fight now, but a lot of lockdown. Nobody finds the first kill. Kanavi is dead. Cream's next to follow. Top Esports jungler is caught again, and now everyone else has to run. Jackie Love with the flash over the wall just to try to survive. Hong is running. T1, they want more kills. 369 and Jackie get enough distance to get away, but T1 have claimed defeat, claimed the Drake, claimed the tier 1 turret. Since 2020, it's been 5 years for Top Esports getting back to this point. They've never made it to the finals, and T1 wants to keep it that way. Faker's the target for Top as he tries to get the route to buy himself a little bit more time, but Faker is shut down. Cream's the target now for T1. Flashes over the wall, but Owner's ready to flash follow. Cream dies, mid for mid. Gumayushi with a flash forward, and he's putting arrows into Jackie Love's back. Jackie gets away with a Kimtech blast cone, but the rest of the arrows continue to focus fire. One more volley takes him out, and Gumayushi gets it done.
T1 will not let Top Esports rest. It has been so many years that they've continued to find picks and plays.
And Kanavi again just picking the wrong moments. He goes in, he survives for now, but it costs Hong's life this time instead. T1 for
12 years T1 have beaten the LPL in best of fives at Worlds. 5 years Top Esports.
Redemption play. He finds a route onto Keria and nothing more. Now he's marked. Kanavi trying to do something on the side, but it's Hong here on the front line that's taking most of the burst. Owner still in the middle of everybody. The Redemption coming in to save him, and the bailout does just that. Cream at least gets one. Hong at 200. Jackie Love trying to fight, but the decimating smash guarantees that he can't. Gumayushi knocked down as we've got a 3 for 2 favoring T1. Faker's not even been in the fight though, and Mel is ready to make her arrival. Cream, the only damage really left for the side of Top Esports. Faker pops the rebuttal, and Carrie is still alive. Solar Snare locks up the Ornn, and 369. The countdown's about to hit 0. They're just waiting, trying to stall this out as long as they can. Make sure that he's not alive at all for the Dragon Soul. T1 against the LPL at Worlds. Jackie Love forced to flash over the wall. Doran flashing after. Here comes the Comet Spear, ready to fly over the top of the decimating smash, but Redemption keeps Jackie alive. Maybe the kill from Kanavi, but no. At least Faker should die here through the bailout, so Cream's gonna get the credit on that one, but T1 aren't done. Cream goes between worlds. 369 with a 2-man knockup. Top Esports, they found Gumayushi, but they have to trade Cream. Jackie's still alive for a little bit more damage as Keria, Owner, and Doran want some more. Hong gets almost caught by the hostile takeover, but it's 369 focused instead. T1, their carries might be down, but they still find another kill. Doran goes on a rampage, and the 3 remaining men on T1 knock down the tier 2.
369 survives for so long, but it's only so he can shed more tears as T1.
2025. They eliminated AL in the quarters. They're about to eliminate Top Esports here in the semifinals. Kanavi takes the arrow, and there's no way he's getting away from that one. The Baron secured by T1. There's no neutral objectives to care about on the map right now, and there's 35 seconds until the enemy jungler is back alive.
T1 and eliminations at Worlds are just a different beast altogether, and Top Esports are all too familiar with it. Quarterfinals, semifinals, it does not matter. T1 only see victory.
T1 with the Baron pushing into the enemy base now. Doran happy to tank the turret. T1 continuing their push straight through that mid lane inhibitor. Sidewaves not really set up for a successful multi-lane push. So T1's just gonna keep going straight for the Nexus. Here comes the Grand Starfall, and Jackie's already down. Hong goes with them. The focus fire into 369 as Cream and Kanavi scramble to stay alive, but nobody on Top Esports has anything to stop T1. It's only the mid laner left. They'll get the final kill. And yet again, the highest peaks of the LPL are merely stepping stones for the unkillable Demon King, Faker, and T1.
At the end, as they marched in one by one, and Top Esports happy to take them to the slaughter.
What a game number one, from 1 kill to game over in 6 minutes. Analysts, T1's looking fierce.
T1 saying one fight is all you get, and if you don't show up, we're gonna take your base, Maurits.
And I am used to LCK games, and now I'm sometimes like, I'm pushing back on the narrative, like, guys, it's not that. This game really was slow, you know, and it was setting up for a big explosion down the line, but it wasn't because of a lack of attempts, because I think there was actually a lot of tries here from TES to make something happen, but T1 played their game, and they did it flawlessly.
And Isaac, you get this, and if you're in a game and you check someone's elo before you do, and it's your enemy mid laner, and you want to take him down, that's what TES tried over and over and over, but they forgot they have a map to look at.
Yeah, the problem is they were going after Faker again and again and again, and every time they tried, the game plan was counter pick mid, leave Ori open, and then put all your resources into snowballing cream to the point where you can win through sides. But every time they went for Faker, nothing happened. They couldn't even force his flash, and meanwhile, you're losing Dragon. Meanwhile, you're losing jungle camps. Meanwhile, you're losing the whole game.
Yeah, I think it came down to even smaller bits than that, right? Because as they're trying to get this, it actually opens up mid, sets up a play where Gumayushi actually blows Hung's flash before the Rift Herald, and it's these tiny things that made such a huge difference because the game was so slow, because there were so few fights, and TES just stacked 4 Drakes completely uncontested.
They did, and then of course, T1 did, and of course TES had to try and get that Drake, but had to try and get really any objective. And as we take a look at this HyperX Reflex replay, one fight is indeed all they got. Now I understand that they feel under pressure, Mal, but they misplayed this completely.
Yeah, I don't. Why are we going in on the level 15 Mordekaiser with 2 items? You're just not going to be able to kill him before he ults anyone. There are comps that have enough CC that can 100 to 0. This is not one of them. And Doran just walks it off.
And the big thing for me is when we talk about what TES are good at domestically, it is around these objective fight setups, right? So because the game was so close, to see them fumble here is absolutely massive because you really do only get one chance, especially with the game coming down to such slight back and forth.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. They had let them get 3 straight dragons, then you flip an Otacon, you lose to the Otacon, they take that, they take Baron, the game is essentially over, and no one had Feet of Warfare yet. The score is 2-1.
That's crazy.
And the game was done, right? Like, that is it. If you're going to play that passive and not force team fights, not contest objectives, you only get one chance.
T1 Baron!
Yeah, the T1 Baron, but it's not. It doesn't even feel like a T1 Baron as... Yeah, the 2 main characters of this game were Faker and Carrier. Faker tanked so many ganks, and if he was in a little 100% kill participation, absolutely crazy on the arena, and if he was even a little bit in danger, you know who was there? Redemption number 1, Redemption number 2, and Carry on the backup.
He did. I mean, it's almost, we're like, oh, are we needing a Faker full screen graphic again? Yes! Yes!
I mean, it's so funny to me because there's been so much talk. Every time I see T1 win a game, I think back to the MCOY series and they're like, wait, you can't give him Azir, of course he's going to win with that. Wait, you can't give him Ryze, of course he's going to win with that. I go on Twitter after this game, wait, you can't give him Ori, of course he's going to win with that. What can you give him?
It's crazy. And I think for the side of TES, I think when we look back to yesterday and the upset that happened in terms of KT taking that series over Genji, it started where a game where they had rebuttals for everything that Genji threw at them. And I think that's where I'm a little bit disappointed in the lack of fight that I saw from TES.
I mean, I wouldn't say it's a lack of fight, but their plan was to try to get this Akali ahead, right? And they spent so much time trying to do that, it didn't work. That's what this composition was supposed to do. Their execution was not good around it, so now it's back to the drawing board.
What I'm hearing is more threats. You can't try and run this comp, and definitely not if you're trying to stymie Faker. Follow the 5 rules. That is Zale said in the pre-show. We'll see if Top Esports can fight back right after this.
Simply exceptional performance from T1. Let's get the breakdown from the analysts.
The breakdown is that it wasn't enough seemingly for Faker and T1 to have that record over the LPL. They also want to get the fastest records over beating the LPL at Worlds, because this is an unbelievable shellacking from the man you see walking behind us right now and his team, Emily.
Yeah, I mean, I want to call out Gumayushi on this Kaza that we already had addressed on Jackie Love's skin, by the way.
Oh
if anyone ever caught that, I'm pretty sure it's IG Kaza. absolutely destroying, along with Karia on this Nico, which you'd already set up at the beginning of the day, Azale.
I just want to call out that we are witnessing greatness. They are one game away from their 4th straight World Finals. That is just unthinkable. In a game where you're competing against so many people from around the world, where there are so many talented players, to keep doing it again and again and again and again, it's just insane.
It's insane, and I want to call out specifically because we had such a quick conversion from Swiss stage into quarterfinals into semifinals that we saw that conversion in real time being so fast. I remember it was a mere few days ago where you said, I don't think they'll be that good in these playoffs, in these knockouts. I don't think I've seen enough. There's so many problems with their play. They are non-existent today.
Yeah, and then unfortunately for everyone, as always, that was then followed by, I can't see how they could do it again. And now I'm actually really happy to report that we are now
possibly
figuring out
do it again, man,
for the
after watching
4th
them
time
do
in
it
a
again.
row. And what I'm really glad is we now know it's not time bound, it's stage bound, right? It's not the week off in between. It's just we get to quarterfinals. Lock in.
Let's go. Let's tell the story of this game a little bit, because I think so much will be said about JackeyLove, who at the beginning of this game finally was able to kill Faker, got a nice play out in the mid lane as well after, but it just made T1 set their sights on JackeyLove even more.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this was a good punish. Faker had spent his flash on an earlier play, so they go top, they get the kill, they knock down 2 plates, but the problem is there's no protection for Jackie in this composition. Here he goes a bit too far, flashing in, didn't realize that Doran was there, but we saw time and time again, even when he was positioning well, he's just getting one shot.
Yeah, there were so many fights where it was obvious that T1's focus, even as this is 369 getting onto Guma, it didn't look super bad for TES, but as we already pointed out, JackeyLove was out of the fight, right? And T1 had such a laser focus on killing this
safe.
Corki.
Be safe, bro.
Before, and they, like you said, Azale, had no peel for him to keep him safe.
And this is where, like, I never like to make everything about the draft, because it's not. There's a massive portion of it is execution. But when I was watching the draft, I was just saying, Renata is insane here for TES. It's a full dive. They've shown that on the first 3, and we're going Nami to try to play for lane dominance. It's like, felt so unlikely that you're going to be able to blow open the game through lane to a point where it wouldn't just be objectively worse than having a Renata.
And meanwhile, you just had that fantastic play from Karia that you broke down in the pre-show, but here again on his Nico. Every second counts, and thanks to the reliable Cisco network, they find them all. I mean, if it wasn't over by then, it definitely was over again, and it's that Atakan, man.
Yeah, as the attempt from TES here to find a catch, not quite working out. These engages from Karia have been insane. And then Guma dives in, Doran is right there, and obviously Faker comes in with the heroic entrance. And despite Karia going down early, Doran getting chomped, doesn't matter because the damage dealers are still alive.
And what you didn't see was the setup to this too, which I also really liked, right? Owner was waiting just before that tri-brush for a really long time. They were trying to set up, closing in on this TES team. And as you see the comparison, JackeyLove started off not bad in this specific game, but it was Gumayushi, again, on this Kaza pick that previously, domestically, he's been a little bit shaky on, absolutely showing up once again on the world stage. 11, 3, and 8, nearly 1,000 damage a minute.
And as you said, on that IG Kaisa skin to add insult to injury. How does TES come back from this? It feels like they have not only the weight of the current games on their shoulders, but all of their fans in the LPL in the 12-year history that Faker has against the LPL.
I mean, a reverse sweep is so hard to pull off against T1. I will say something that gave me some confidence is it never felt like they gave up. They still kept looking for fights, even when they were massively behind. They need comfort. They need to have some early plays go their way and hopefully build a little confidence.
Oh, they have to show so much to stay in this one from the side of Top Esports, or it is T1 that head over to their 4th straight Grand Finals. Now 2025 has been a big year in League of Legends. We welcomed players to Noxus and introduced Arena Mode, journeyed with Sinzao to Ionia for the Spirit Blossom Festival and to meet Yunara, and now, faced with the threat of impending darkness released by LeBlanc and Arakan, our heroic warriors will converge on the Temple of Twilight in a final battle of fate. Don't miss the narrative conclusion to 2025 when the season end cinematic premieres on November 7th at 8 a.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Central European. Can't wait.
I'll be there no matter what.